Welcome to What's the Effort?
What the F?
All right. Hello, everyone. Hi, Austin.
Hey, how we doing?
We're doing great. Hi, Melissa. Good to see you. I want to say thank you. Thank you very, very much. All right. So we don't have a whole lot of people on right at this moment, so I can go ahead and confess this. Sometimes things don't go super smoothly.
Come on.
Hey, we did really good. We did really good. Anyhow, I'm very, very privileged to have Austin as my guest. And I'd like to say thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks.
How are you today?
I'm good. It is a beautiful day in South Carolina. The sun is shining. It's like 80 degrees, blue sky, so I can't complain.
Well, it's shiny. It's clear skies, but I think we're at like 48 here in Chicago. So it's a little chilly. So yeah. Yeah. Happy Monday for sure for everyone. All right. So I'd like to start by asking, if I may, Austin, about your name. Talk to me. Is that where you were? I was going to say, were you baptized? But is that your given name?
It's my given name. I was born with the name Austin James Marvel. I had nothing to do with it, but I have to live up to it, the last name. So that's fun. And I always hear these, whether I'm at the gas station or a restaurant, they're like, oh, Marvel. Are you, they make some kind of silly, like ask me what movie's my favorite. It's relentless. So yeah, it's my last name.
Wow. Very, very interesting. And out of curiosity, did you pass on that kind of life challenge with your children in any way?
I gave that last name to 3 little babies and my wife, and it was something that my wife didn't really. She's like, "Why do you get annoyed by that?" And then now she gets it because people see her last name and she gets all the jokes. And we don't really watch movies or TV, so a lot of it's they'll throw like Avengers or Iron Man, like little jokes in there, and we're kind of like, it just goes right over our head. So.
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah. Do you guys have a television?
Yeah. I don't. It's over there. Guess you can't see it, but yeah, we have a TV, and like we have it. It's just not really a priority in our life. We don't really have the time, honestly.
Yeah. I don't have a television.
Oh.
I have not had a television in over 20 years.
Now that's a big move because
I know.
I mean, obviously we're talking on the internet, so you're not like technologically challenged, excuse me, but you don't have a TV in your house. Nice.
No, as a matter of fact, it's because it was technologically advanced that was happening. Because 20 years ago, I realized I can watch what I want on the internet.
Yeah.
It wasn't as wide as it is now for the selection, but I started thinking, I don't need cable. I need a server. So I had a second computer that was a server. Okay. And all I did was when I wanted to watch anything, that's what I watched it on. So it was kind of funny.
Now, is that your background, technology?
No, not at all. Not at all. But I've never been afraid of technology. And as a result, when I had a really good friend who was, an IT guy, a really good IT guy, he said, everybody's going to get rid of their TVs eventually. Why do you want to watch commercials? At that time, on the internet, there weren't a lot of commercials, like there are now. Right. So that's what happened. I said, hey, you know what? You're right. And that's ever since I've been on just choosing what I want to watch.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. And now I'm choosing who I want to have as a guest.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, by the way, Effie. I know we've talked about deals and land and multifamily and all sorts of cool projects. And I'm honestly like really blessed to be on your podcast.
I feel very blessed to have you. So thank you very much. Now, I want to, I don't know exactly how many people know you and such, but there are a few things that I know that, I feel, wow, that's awesome. And one of them is your past in regards to, what you do with the camera. And now, you guys, a funny aside, guys, oh, I had to shut down, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to do this. Bear with me for 1 second if I can bring this up. I think it's worth the chuckle. Um, I had, um, as you guys know, I let my guests choose their favorite movie. And, you know, Austin had chosen this one. Okay, hold on. Um,
Drum roll.
yep. He had chosen this one, The Shooter, or Shooter, as his favorite movie. And I've seen that movie, and it's a good movie. And I like to transpose the guest onto the poster. And in the public face group, they didn't allow the picture.
Oh, interesting.
It was censored. It was censored. So we thank goodness I had written a few words about where we are and why, but I guess a daddy with a baby and a firearm is not acceptable to.
Uh-oh.
Isn't that funny?
So now there's like a red flag on me where they're gonna come seize my safe and throw my stuff. That's not good.
No, just the firearm.
Okay, great.
Anyways, I thought that was a bit of a joke.
Yeah, it's funny. It's a good movie. I like it. I chose it because I've always, been like fascinated with long range shooting and sniping. And my real estate approach has kind of been like, really targeting exactly what I want. And, just in life in general, really targeting what I want and kind of putting the blinders onto everything else. If it doesn't meet that criteria, it's kind of like sniping, I guess. So I don't know.
Well, it's very focused, that's for sure, and it literally is shooting, although you use a camera.
Yes. Yeah.
So
my
talk
background.
to us about that aspect, and did it have anything to do with you ending up, favoring land?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, so I'll give you a quick background. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, and in college, one of my jobs was to like do outdoor adventures, whitewater rafting, dog sledding, rock climbing, snowboarding, skiing, and we would take foreign exchange students, sororities, fraternities. We'd take them out on these weekend expeditions, a big busload. I'd be driving a bus, and we'd take them to do all these things around the Pacific Northwest. And I was just getting into photography at the time, so it gave me a lot of opportunities to capture some really cool things. I was the only one in that program who was getting a business and marketing degree. Everyone else was like outdoor management, wildlife management, stuff like that was kind of relevant. So it was weird for me to fit in. I would talk about P&Ls and stuff I was excited about learning, and it just would go right over these forestry management guys' heads. And so I started to kind of utilize my camera to do content for marketing. We started getting into print marketing and just social media advertising, all the basics. And after I started to get good with photo and video, I moved across the country, left all that, and I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. Eventually I got plugged in with these land guys who were like, hey, can you help us make some video commercials and help us with our photography? It was an awesome opportunity because it really just opened my eyes and showed me what's out there. And so I had kind of done some stuff in the real estate space. Like I started to shoot residential, and then I started to shoot luxury residential, like high-end lake homes. And then I got plugged into land. And so now like almost everything that I market and I shoot is pretty much raw land. So throughout that, just being in the room, I learned about, development and all the basic things, entitlement, zoning, and, purchasing, acquisitions, off market, direct to seller, just kind of learning the verbiage and the rhetoric around it. And so here we are. I've kind of started my own thing to do some land flipping on the side. And my marketing and land has actually turned out to be, just, I don't know, it's helped. It's been relevant. So you brought up glamping on like the post. Obviously, that's how you can kind of tie the two together. I spent a lot of time in the outdoor realm. So glamping, Airstreams, tiny homes, tree houses, all that kind of meshed really, really well. And it was just a real transition. So there you have it. Short story long.
I think that's a wonderful, wonderful journey. I mean, to think I'm from the Northwest also, but from the other side of the border, from Vancouver. So
Yeah,
that whole Puget Sound and all that area, it's just so gorgeous.
it is.
And most people that live out there are very outdoorsy because, it is so pretty. And it's
Yeah,
just so nice to think that it started that way. And then you started photographing it.
yeah.
And now it's ended up, you learned about land because you were photographing for land guys.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been pretty cool. I mean, just to see the amount of opportunity that was out there. Because to me, it was like, okay, people are making money in real estate. They're flipping houses. They've got Airbnbs or rentals. And in my head, I'm like, oh, that's sexy, passive income. I want to do that. And there's all these HGTV shows about, triple digit flips, stuff like that, where you can like make money
Yep.
on the residential sector. And I didn't know much about raw land. And I just always thought, that's kind of cool. So when I got plugged in with these land guys, I was hiking land. Sometimes there's 1,000 acres that I was in charge of marketing. So yeah, it was a natural transition. So interesting. I love
If
it.
someone has a piece of land that's that big and they want you to help market it, how do you cover it all? I mean, I can see drones, but
Yeah, definitely with drones. Well, Effie, you don't want to give them too much information. The person who's buying, it's almost better to, how do I get them out on the property? Because you can't really appreciate a property unless you're hiking it and really seeing the things that, and I don't want to make it look too good on a camera. So I do enough to really entice for a phone call and then schedule an appointment to do a property tour. Rarely is property bought sight unseen. Obviously, high-end content helps with that. You can kind of do it and get away with it, but that's really like minimal when that actually happens. So
interesting. Interesting. Hi, Pansy. Nice to see you here. She says, I have land and I want to do something with, I think she means with it.
yeah, you should.
So then do people come out to look at the land and actually walk the land?
Yeah. So, I mean, it just depends on the disposition model. The one that I work in the most is single day land sales. So it's a 1 day opportunity where we'll give like $100,000 off market value. And there's only, X amount of lots. And people come up from like 9 or 10 a.m. and it'll run until about like 4 p.m. The sale
Really?
will just run all day. And it's like invite only. You'll get like postcards in the mail. You'll see our ads online. And really, you want to be there first, be there soon, because you get like, you can pick, and when you get there later in the day, half of it's gone. And
Interesting.
yeah.
So
So that's
they're called single day lots?
just single day land sale. I mean, I don't know.
I've never heard of that, but I don't know a lot about land.
It's an amazing disposition model. Like it's really incredible, actually.
So it creates competition?
Yeah. Some of these, we have had an event down in Texas, probably like a year or two ago. We had like 1,000 people show up on one day, and we only had, I think, 90 lots, 90 properties available. So that was crazy. It was really tricky because they come in waves. We'll schedule them for 150 people at 9 o'clock, 150 people at 11 o'clock. So that there's kind of that natural progression. But there's always these waves of people showing up. So it kind of creates FOMO, that sense of urgency. And it works really well to everyone's advantage because a lot of people, they show up, they want to buy the land, but they need that extra emotional poof or like to really push them over the edge to convince themselves. And then they're always happy that they did it. But it's just like when you show up, it's just you on a 100-acre tract, it's kind of hard to feel like you need to buy it. And then when you've got 15, 20 other people all looking at the same property, it kind of makes you feel like I need to get this before that guy does. So it's really an impressive disposition model. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'll bet. Melissa is asking, is it like a new subdivision?
Yes, usually, I mean, on this particular event type, they're usually really high-end gated communities, waterfront, mountaintop. They're not like, way out in the middle of nowhere. Everybody wants what we're selling. And it's, when I say 1,000 acres, it's not a 1,000 acre piece. It's probably cut up into 10-acre tracts. So yeah.
And you make it a gated community right then and there?
Yeah. Add amenities like a pool and a pool house and, you know, tennis courts, basketball courts.
Oh, interesting.
Super high end stuff. I mean, all the communities that we've done that I've been a part of, it's like I would not feel ashamed to buy in there. You know, every single buyer that's come our way and purchased property, I'm genuinely happy for them because they're getting a really good piece of land in an awesome community. It's hard to find that just shopping on Zillow,
Yeah.
Craigslist, you know, Facebook, FSBO. It's really hard to find it. So the event is if you get an opportunity to go to an event and it's relevant, you need to check it out. Just make sure you get there early.
Well, I think that I'd like to be invited to one.
Well, come on. Where do you want to buy land? I got you.
I was thinking about the experience, not quite
Yeah.
buying land yet, but it's interesting to me that, to think about getting multiple people at the same time makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense.
Yeah.
If I understand you correctly, you basically buy a large piece of land and you do actually build infrastructure on it
Mhm.
before you put it on a single day lot sale or a single day, what do we call it?
Right.
Sale.
Yeah. A land sale. So yeah, we'll develop our own. A lot of times, it's obviously a great solution for developers.
Mhm.
So if a developer goes through, they put the roads, the amenities, the gate, the infrastructure, the power, they put all that in there and they're like, how do I sell this? They come to us and we're a great solution because we can sell sometimes 100% of their inventory in a 1-day land sale. So
Wow.
it's
Okay,
a
so talk to me about
phenomenal.
who we is,
What do you
because
mean we?
well, you have, was that my phone?
No, it was mine. Sorry, I
Oh,
don't.
okay, sorry.
Sorry, guys.
You have great skills in photography and you know land. Is it your team or are you referring to the royal we or what?
The
Talk to me.
royal we. No. So what we're talking about, we kind of got sidetracked and just started talking about 1-day land sales.
Yeah.
These
Sorry
are
about that.
It's okay. It's okay. It really is a phenomenal dispo method, and I think everyone should know about it because people like in Texas, they get invited to these things, don't really know much about it. But that is a team that I'm on, and I handle a lot of the content production for that team. I do sales. I'll run the tours and actually sell for them, and that's what got me into like land development and land flipping on my own team. But this over here, what we've been talking about, that's kind of my role in all that. You know, I'll help them with the marketing and the content and actually running the sales. So that is a company that I will leave unnamed, just because I don't want to get anyone in trouble here. But it's a great company to work for. And
Okay. Yeah, but there are companies that do this.
Yeah.
And
It's not
they
the only one.
hire a team like that, like the one you're part of, to come
Right.
in, do the content marketing, run the show, and do you actually do the contracts too? Are you a realtor?
I'm not a realtor, so that's kind of like a gray area. We don't need to get into all that, but there are hundreds of reps that come out there. I'm basically a tour guide, so I bring them to sign a contract and get under contract with the developers. So,
Got it.
super interesting. We can
Yeah,
dive into
that
that.
does sound like it would be fun.
It is so much fun. I just got back yesterday from one of these events down in Texas, and they fly people in from all over the country. I mean, it's a big family, and a lot of them are realtors. Most of them are. So it's just an amazing thing to be a part of. It really is like a big family because we do these events all over the country, and it's a way that we can provide value to developers, provide value to each other. A lot of times we'll go out to dinner and we'll just talk about other stuff. You know, you're doing land, you're doing this over here, you're doing that, and it's a great way to network. It's
yeah. So it's not, well, I don't want to say just land because I think land is so important. But what do we call a team like that? Is there a particular, again?
The dream team. I mean, it's just so bad,
with Marvel on it, of course it would be a dream team. I love it.
That's a cool way to buy land and to sell it. But I don't want to tell you all the secrets about that. That's kind of
well, it's just fascinating. I hadn't realized that you do it as a team like that.
It's incredible.
Can I ask you something? On a team like that, about how many people? Just give me a rough number.
So it depends on the sale. You know, how many properties are we selling? Are we selling 150 properties in a day, or are we selling 35? You know.
Okay, so let's talk about 150. How many would it take?
Effie, if you had a finished community and you had to sell 150 properties in one day, we would probably want about 1,500, maybe 3,000 appointments. It's going to be a long, busy day, which
Yep.
means we're going to want about 100 to 150 reps to actually run these tours. So,
Okay, so here comes my real question.
okay, what's up?
How many of them are men?
Oh, you'd be surprised. It's about 50-50. And
Really?
actually, in most cases, the women do better.
Ha!
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, because it does sound like an awful lot of fun. And it does sound like, although you'd have to spend a lot of time prepping and getting everything ready for that one day,
Mhm.
that would be a big payday. Yeah,
Well,
like if you
yeah,
were
for
doing your
everyone
job.
involved. I mean, really, for the buyers, even. I mean, because as I mentioned earlier, you're getting $100,000 discount in most cases off these properties. We sold a property on Sunday or Saturday. A guy bought it for me for 159, and it's worth every bit of 260. So he's really getting all that equity. You've heard the saying, you make your money when you buy.
Yep.
So they're winning. The developer's happy because they're getting rid of all their inventory in a single day.
Right.
And then obviously the company that I work for kind of goes in and acts as a real estate as a real estate agent with 150 transactions at once, if that makes sense, or
Yeah.
30, 50, however many it is.
Right.
But truly, like for everyone involved, it's such a great solution, especially like the developer wins, the buyers win, they get off market properties direct to seller. It's a truly incredible business model. So.
Now, I like to think that any guest that comes on here will have fun and will hopefully get some benefit. But it looks to me like your benefit is even before we're halfway through, because I see Millie saying, when are you coming back to San Antonio? Fredericksburg, add me to your list.
Millie, just text me. Just text me. I got properties in Fredericksburg, San Antonio, all over the place out there in the hill country. It's phenomenal. I was just in Harper, Texas, and it's no HOA, 5 acres, which if you're going to do well and septic ranch properties, they have to be 10 in Gillespie County, but they're kind of grandfathered in. So 5 acres. Anyways, if you're looking for land, I got you out there.
That's cool. That's
fun.
very cool.
It's
Very
cool.
nice indeed. Out of curiosity, does land, I mean, honestly, for 159 or even 260, if that's the full, price of the land, they don't do financing or creative, do they?
Absolutely. Yeah. Seller financing. This one's cool. I don't know if you know about the Texas Veteran Land Board, but I sold a property to a guy who was a vet, and we'll give him like $1,000 towards closing costs. And it's 95% LTV, loan to value, meaning that you only have to put 5% down on your property. And that's
nice.
raw land. I mean, there's all sorts of programs like that. If you have a 401k or an IRA and you want to transfer all that into raw land, a tangible asset, which has never been more attractive, it's super easy to do. So that and seller financing, I mean, there's all sorts of things that we do to get people to properties.
Okay. And when you say what we do, that's something that you connect people with?
Dream team.
Yeah. Do you connect them with that kind of situation?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not because I'm not a realtor. It's not my job to get them to the closing table and do all that.
Yeah, got it. I understand.
Yeah.
But another thing is I always hope that whoever I bring on, I'll be, that I knew a little bit about them at least, and then also get to know more about them. And in a very short period of time, you've almost made me want to end the stream, guys, and have them all to myself to get a deal.
You can call me anytime. These people can't, but I told Millie she could. But
that's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I'm really listening, and I'm thinking, why don't I jump in? When people do buy land like that, do the majority of them buy it to develop their own place, or do they do they buy it on speculation that in another 2 years I'm going to be able to sell it for more? Like, talk to me about the buyers.
Yeah, I don't think we get a lot of land flippers coming in to buy from us. However, on these sales, we did have a guy last year. He bought about $1.4 million worth of inventory because this is all pre-construction. So a lot of the times roads won't be done. Infrastructure is not completed. We're about 90 to 120 days out.
Okay.
And we had a guy follow us and paid 1.4 for his properties, and he just waited until every community they bought in was finished, and then he just listed with an agent, and he sold that 1.4 for $4 million. So he was great land flipper. But the majority of buyers, not just on these sales, but the majority of buyers that we interact with is typically people who want to come in and it's the American dream. So they want to own, 5 acres, 10 acres and build their dream house, their ranch, their cabin, whatever it is out there. And it's just amazing to help fulfill that dream.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's more that than people coming in trying to flip it and make a quick buck.
That's interesting. Yeah, especially I can see that. That's pretty cool. So it's actually just the beginning of the cost for them.
Yeah. So a lot of these people that are buying from us, they're pretty well pre-qualified. They're not scraping by to purchase this. Usually they're confident they've got money in an account that isn't really doing much. And instead of it not doing much, they can put it into a tangible asset. So like I said, it's the American dream to own land. And I really think it should be encouraged more because we see a lot of foreign entities coming in and purchasing these properties from us. And it's kind of scary and sad. I want more of my friends to buy land because my friends are having kids and whatever. They want to build their legacy, build their estate, collect land. The wealthiest people I know, all they do is collect land. They're always sending out offers. They're always trying to purchase as many properties as possible.
Right.
So I think that's the ticket.
Melissa Palmer says, so your Royal We Dream Team is in Texas, but can you do this elsewhere, like California, perhaps?
It's not in Texas. It's really not. It's out of the Carolinas. We have done the most in Texas over the last couple of years. So I'm there all the time for other things, but it's everywhere. I mean, we've done this in California. What's that? There's a lake up above LA that we did it on. Forgot the name of that, but we're looking at properties in Florida, California, Montana, Carolinas, Texas, Virginia, all over the place, Georgia. If it makes sense, then we go there and do it. And a lot of times it's just serious developers who bring us the properties. We have this high-end community, this amazing thing that we've created, but there's still this second part. I mean, what do we do? Are we going to list each of these lots with agents? That would take years,
Yeah.
So us being the single day disposition model, the dream team. I mean, it's such a great solution for developers. So
yeah, it sounds great. Melissa's offering Big Bear Lake or Lake Arrowhead.
No, I think it was Big Bear Lake.
Oh, guess who lives near Big Bear Lake?
Who's
yes.
that? No, just tell me.
Melissa Palmer.
Well, Melissa, if you're looking for land out there, I'll check on my end to see if we still have properties in there. I don't know if we do, but I'll check for you.
I'm looking for land, which I know doesn't exist, in Monterey Peninsula.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you have a specific buy box, right? You have something that you're looking for in a specific county, like you want 5 to 10 acres. I have a different tool entirely that I've built through a strategic partnership with a friend who I consider family out of Sub 2. He's now my business partner.
Cool.
Built something like everything I've been telling you about has kind of pushed me and inspired me to start this old thing that's backed on AI and marketing. I don't know if you want to hear about it.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So let's say you're I want 5 acres. What county is that in? Monterey Peninsula.
Well, it's you're talking about. There are a couple of middle class like Seaside and Marina. There are areas there, and then you've got Monterey, the county, the city of Monterey, and you've got Pacific Grove. You have it's Monterey. Thank you, Monterey County. Thank you, Melissa.
That's easy.
That makes sense, but it includes Pebble Beach and Big Sur.
Yeah, no, that is one of my favorite parts of the country. I've done that drive, from Oregon all the way down to San Diego, just on the coast, and spent all, going to McWay Falls, Big Sur, Redwoods, all that stuff. That's my dream part of the country. So let's say Monterey County. Let's say we target this Monterey County and we want to find a 3-acre tract. Okay. So we're gonna go.
We don't want to go for 5.
Okay, let's go for 5. So let's
All
say
right.
we go for 5 acres in Monterey County. It's near impossible, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to pull county data, and we find this list of property owners who own property, let's just say between 3 and 5 acres.
Okay.
And let's start adding some parameters on it, because let's say that between 3 and 5 acres, that might be like 2 or 3,000. I don't know. It would be like a lot, you know.
Okay.
We want to say we don't want to market to anyone who has owned this property for less than 10 years. So that's going to shrink it to here. This is all the people who own 3 to 5 acres for at least 10 years. And now we want to do just out of state owners. So that's going to shrink it even more. And so now we've got this list of like, it's not hyper targeted, but it's enough to like send out some mail to. So it's a basic wholesale system. You can send them offers anywhere from like 45 to 70% of market value. And you can go off tax value. We have like an AI that kind of determines what we should offer them to get a good response rate.
Mm-hmm.
You can lowball people, but your response rate is going to be pretty small. And then you can use this AI or use some kind of algorithm to actually see like, okay, they're an out-of-state owner. They've recently gone through a divorce. They've got these like liens and they owe this money. So we can offer them a little bit, but then this other person who's in no pain, let's offer them a little bit more. So it's a system that I've built with my integrator, my business partner, and it's incredible. I mean, we mail counties, like kind of cherry pick off the top and then wholesale the rest. So wow. I've done that here. I've done that, and we can do that anywhere in the US. So maybe we should do that. Maybe we should sponsor a campaign. We'll run Monterey. That'd be fun.
I will pay for it.
I didn't tell you the price.
I would love that. I would love that.
Amazing.
I mean, Julie Burkhart just jumped on here a few minutes ago.
Julie? Oh, man.
Yeah. And she's so lucky because she's got land,
A lot of it, yeah.
I mean, if you put land along with the area you love the most, how can you not win?
Mm-hmm.
How can you not win?
Yeah.
That is so cool. Now, I do know that area is pretty expensive, but later let's talk because I'm serious. It would be fun to try to get something like that.
Yeah.
But how do you guys decide what makes economic sense? Because you said if it's feasible, we go into that market.
Right. So
how do you even decide that?
We pull data all across the country on all the counties, and we say, where's our supply demand issue? And how we do that is we'll say, where have the most transactions happened in the last like 9 to 12 months or more? And where is there the least amount of inventory available on the MLS? So we kind of we give each county a score. Then we see like, okay, this one's hot because there's a lot of stuff that's sold, but there's only a fraction of that number that's actually listed with an agent. So that's where you can kind of determine where the supply and demand issue is. And we've got AI and systems that kind of help us determine that without having to actually manually do that for every single county.
Nice.
Yeah. So basically the way it works, we'll start sending out all our mailed offers. They're just blind offers. They're automatically generated, but you can do neutral offers. You can do range offers. There's all sorts of things depending on your exit strategy and what you're hoping for. And it comes in and people answer the phone for us, or they'll just basically sign the offer and then send it to us. And then we have contract. So it's a real amazing thing. We both have, my partner and I have kids. So we're like, we can only dedicate so much time to this.
Nice. I am very, very happy for you that you are actually being able to do something like this, because how much fun.
It is fun. Yeah.
Dana says, watching while calling agents. He says, I bought 40 acres off Yellow Letter campaign before, split to 5 lots and sold for double.
Yeah,
land is fun.
Yeah.
Where was it, Dana? Like in what part of the country?
Seriously, the subdivide thing that's the golden ticket. It takes a little bit more like wrapping your brain around it, but Dana, he or she sounds like they've got it going off.
It's a dude.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, what about Alaska? I have a friend who likes Alaska a lot. He says it's northern Arizona. Dana says.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Like, where were you at? That sounds cool.
Yeah, I know. Talk to me about Alaska.
You ever been?
I have not been yet, but
Okay.
next summer Pace is having that thing in Alaska with salmon fishing.
Is that at Ryan's spot, Ryan Congerhands?
I'm
I
not
got
exactly sure. I
oh.
just know that I am going to go because
Yeah.
I grew up
Me
in
too, man.
Vancouver, and I
Yeah.
always thought I should go up and see, on the cruise ship,
Yeah.
see all of the coasts of BC because it's
Uh-huh.
such gorgeous land.
Yeah, it
And
is.
then you land in Alaska and you do some touring and then you fly back, or the other way around.
Yeah.
But I will announce it right here, right now, that I'm also going to see how many people from Sub 2 would like to visit Vancouver because
Mm,
I know it inside out.
yeah.
And if I can get a handful of people who want to also spend 4 or 5 days in Vancouver, they will be, I could run them up to Whistler. I could, there's a bunch of different things we could do. But I am thinking of actually slipping in Vancouver in there.
I think we should.
But
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to see Alaska. Have you seen it?
Yeah. I was lucky enough to, so I got this really cool assignment back in like 2017, and then I got another one the next year where I went up to Southeast Alaska, where all the ships come in. Like the,
Right.
the ships, the cruise ships, they'll go all the way up. They kind of, there's a couple different routes, but
Mhm.
they all come through Southeast Alaska. So these guys who are now my buddies, they were like, hey, come out and help us. Like, we're marketing these excursions to TripAdvisor. So basically, if you were on a cruise, there's this website portal where you can go see all the different excursions: whale watching, hoverboat, helicopter, seaplane, all these things, feed eagles, all these crazy things. And these guys wanted me to go up and make little 2-minute videos of each of these excursions. So I really got to know Alaska that way. And
What
that was
fun.
after living there for, a couple months a year prior. But it was cool seeing the Northern Lights and getting under glaciers and all sorts of stuff.
For sure, because it's only in that area. And we've got Cassandra, we've got a bunch of people up there. Not a whole lot, but we've got
Yeah.
enough people in Sub 2
Totally.
that we should be able to get together and, have a party.
Yeah. I got good connections in Southeast Alaska.
Anthony Johnson says he's got 760 acres of land
Where?
if you want it.
I think I want it,
What does
maybe.
that mean? Where
Anthony,
is it, Anthony?
Come on now.
Uh,
So I think, can you see my username on here? Meet the Marble. I don't know if you can
you
see
know
it,
what? I think that I can't because of the fact that I've started showing comments. My apologies.
It's
Bad
okay.
girl.
No,
I
it's
should
okay.
not be showing comments.
No, you can put
Oh,
them.
wait, what happened? Hold on a second. If I get rid of the comment, it's funny because, like I said, there's a fair amount coming to you right here.
I haven't even seen any of the comments, but
Okay, there we go. Now
okay.
you see your name.
Well, I still want to see the comments. It's kind of fun. Anyways, if you guys take that down, that's my username on Instagram. It takes me maybe 24 to 48 hours to like get back to people. But if you just DM me on there, you're like, yo, I got 760 acres. Maybe we could JV. I could come out and shoot it. That's like my best value. I come out there and shoot it, see if it's a good fit for anything I'm working on. And if not, you get some pretty sweet content. You can just list it.
Of course, you get to see beautiful pictures for sure. For sure. I agree with that. I think that there you go. That should be worth at least, the time it takes to go looking for me. I'm going to earn my keep today. Oh my gosh. I just absolutely love it. And I see that Dana says, take them to Bouchard Gardens. Yeah, I definitely take them to Bouchard Gardens, right? In Victoria. Nice. Tofino. My God. Tofino. Okay, I'm sorry. Have you been to Tofino?
Not yet. Where's that? Let's go.
Tofino.
Okay.
Tofino is on Vancouver Island, not too far from Nanaimo on the west coast. And it's the only place in Canada where they do surfing. Because there's nothing that's between Tofino and the Hawaiian Islands.
Oh.
And it is the whales, bears, coyotes and wolves, like big salmon, it's like nature to the nth degree. And the sad thing is that the people come all from Europe. There are a lot of Germans, Swedes, French people coming, and they they will tent sometimes, but there's also quite a glamming community
Yep.
and a nice town. The town is called Tofino,
Okay.
but not that many Canadians themselves. But once they go, they're absolutely addicted because it's so, it would be right up your alley. Like you would.
Well, what if we bought an Airbnb out there?
Oh my God.
Let's do it, like an A-frame.
Oh, let's. Hey,
Mastermind.
Austin,
Yeah.
this is recorded.
I'll go half with you, Effie. I have it. I'll go half with you.
How many people would like to see Austin and I buy an Airbnb in a place that you guys would absolutely almost die to visit? Anyone? Anyone at all?
We'll host a mastermind. Why not? We'll just brain.
Oh my God. I'm really serious, Austin.
Me too.
Also, you might look into land up there. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anthony says I am interested. Melissa's swooping in to get Anthony's land from you. Do you see this?
Hey, come on, Melissa. It's all right. We'll partner up. Like collaboration over competition.
There you go. With 760 acres, I'll tell you, if you end up going and thinking this is something, we should do another podcast on what can come from a podcast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good idea. By this time, let's come back in 6 months and hopefully we'll have blood.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely. The hand-picking, waving. Okay. That's funny, Yada. Nice. Anyways, we're getting a lot of interaction on this program today.
Good. Yeah. So, you guys should blow up the comments with like your maybe your contact info. You guys should definitely network in there.
You should be. You should be
on the sidebar of YouTube.
Yep, and I believe it takes a little while for it to come up, but not that long. And I believe it also posts the comments on YouTube, if I recall correctly. Yeah. Oh, speaking of YouTube, guys, I don't ask this very often, but please could you go to my YouTube, to this episode later today when it's actually up there, and leave a comment. Hi, Brenda. Yeah, leave a comment because apparently comments help the algorithm. I know very little, but.
Yeah, no, seriously, I'll reiterate that. Wherever you're watching this, if it's on Facebook or YouTube or wherever else you stream it to, wherever you're watching this, please give us a shout out in the comments and maybe say something like, I don't know, a takeaway. Or comment on how silly my hair is or something. I don't know.
Your hair isn't silly. Your hair is nice. It's fine. It's fine. And I will tell you, if you're on Facebook, you're very lonely because I'm scrolling along here. So Brenda, you might want to jump onto, I see. Yeah, Brenda, you're the only one on Facebook from what I can see. It's so funny because it shows you where they're from, and just about everybody is from YouTube. But how cool is that? So you do that full time, right?
What's that?
The land.
Yeah. So I'm a dad full time. I'm a stay-at-home dad. But when I go to work, it's with either my camera or I'm selling land. Luckily, I've got like an active campaign going on where I live here locally. And that's awesome because I come across deals that are just on the other side of the lake for me. And I can go check it out, fly the drone, hike it, take pictures. And then I can usually sell it to a friend, which is so cool. I mean, I just basically gave my buddy $100,000 by him buying a piece of land for me at a stupid discount. We bought it and I made a little bit of money on it, but he made a lot because you always make your money on the buy. And so I've got this big wholesale system that he doesn't have the time to go do. He just told me what he wanted and I found it and we sold it to him. I mean, that's so cool. It's a great way to do business with friends.
Absolutely. All of my guests are interesting, but guys, we have a chance to really make out here. Lots of money. So he says the 760 acres are in Grass Valley.
Grass Valley.
Where's Grass Valley? Is that California? I'm waiting for Anthony to respond.
That's okay.
We will see. But that is, I just found out Melissa Smith and Melissa Kemp Smith are two different Melissas.
Nice. We're
Like,
going.
that's funny. Yada.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, Brenda hopped over to YouTube. Yoo-hoo!
Brenda, welcome to the fam.
It's a party now. Okay. That's funny.
So Effie, what can I ask you? May I ask you a question?
Of course.
What do you? I mean, you could probably do the same thing, nerd out and tell me everything that you do or have done in real estate and your experience and your background. But by this time next year, when I talk to you again on the internet, we'll probably talk again, maybe in 6 months or so. But let's say
right after this, we're going to make a series of appointments because you're going to find land for me.
let's do that. But let's say on November 30th or October 30th of 2024, we're going to like have a follow up and just talk about what we talked about today. What do you think you'll like perfect vision have done in real estate? Would you have bought an Airbnb on, where did we say? Or in Alaska?
In Tofino,
Tofino.
which is in Canada, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Paint it. Paint your vision to me.
Paint your vision. Okay. Oh, wow. This is not something I do. But okay. I will. I have been, it's been 16 months, almost 17 months that I've been sub 2, and
Okay.
I have been looking for traction. I've done some loans, but I haven't really done any assets yet. But everything has been lining up.
Okay.
Particularly the financing. Everything is lined up. So now I'm sitting pretty and I'm in a position to go.
Okay.
And I am interested in a number of different things. One of the reasons I was a little bit late in sending the link is I just opened up an LLC today to do business with another sub 2 person who is in Jamaica, and we're gonna start an wholesale operation. He's a wholesaler, among other things. I'm not a wholesaler, but I will be marketing the wholesaling company from those, and it's mainly going to be in Florida. So from that, I know I'm going to end up with at least a couple of properties there.
Okay.
I also think that I'm looking to partner with as many individuals as I can, because that's how I'm going to grow my business. Melissa Smith is definitely going to be, have already done some business with me. Julie and I are doing a gentle little dance, but I'm hoping that we're going to have done some business together.
Yeah.
And I'm doing co-living. I'm just starting in the realm of co-living. So I have a Zoom series that starts at 5:30 EST. And we're exploring all different kinds of co-living options. So within a year, I will have at least a few co-living properties.
Okay.
And I love land. And do you remember when I first started to follow you? I was like, oh my God, these photographs are so beautiful. You were taking photographs of land, and I was dinging you in Facebook on sub 2. And finally I was like, I want to know why you have so many beautiful pictures of land. And that's when we first talked. And when you told me that you had been in the Pacific Northwest and you had done all that, I was like, wow, like a magical thing. So I knew that at some point we're going to need to do something. And then we talked more recently when that gentleman had found what was
trailer, RV resort out of
RV resort. Yeah.
So,
there are many things that I'm going to want to do and that I will have done with it. It's got to be good.
You got to repeat your last 10 seconds.
I am in Sedona. What's that?
I said you got to repeat your last 10 seconds. I'm hearing an echo and I missed that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said I'm going on a buying spree, investing spree.
Love it.
So I am so ready. But at the same time, Austin, I thought that when you were going to come on here, I thought that I had a decent idea of what you're doing, but actually I had a very small idea. So what you're looking at is so much bigger that I'm super excited. And I do very much want us to have multiple appointments so that I can get to know more and get into a deal with you.
Let's do it.
I think it has to feel so good when you're spending your time finding great property and then helping people that you're doing friends and I think that's an awesome position to be in, and I'm sure that your children love the outdoors. It must be that you got to take them with you. You got to show them all this stuff, and I understand when you say that you don't watch a lot of TV. When you're outdoors and you're doing all this breathing of fresh air and looking at nature and in your own head and talking with people, it grounds you in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
It grounds you in different ways, and I think it makes you more appreciative of nature.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean,
right?
I'm hearing an echo, so it's going to distract me, but I don't know how. Anyways, you're spot on.
Okay, so do we have an echo, guys? I don't know. I don't hear one.
Okay, maybe it's just me.
That usually comes when you have two devices that are on. You don't have your phone on with this at the same time, do you?
No. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, because that's when it's usually caused. And actually, I got to take a picture before I forget. Anyways, so can you hear me all right? Did you understand? Oh,
yeah,
Mena says yes.
Yeah. Do you have something else? Like, are you streaming in the background? It's almost like it's playing. Echo.
No. Oh. Yes.
Oh.
I have guests. And I didn't tell them not to use their devices.
It just
and they're calling back home. They're from Victoria. They're from Victoria, British Columbia.
Okay. Well, it's all right. Anyways, so yeah, you're spot on with like bringing my family to these destinations. Like we just did this treehouse resort in Ohio, and it was so cool to bring my kids up there to experience that with me. It was a very phenomenal type of asset class. Bring them up there to the forest and the woods to be able to hike through and see all the caves and the river and everything. It's just a cool way to live, you know. I love my life. And I'm to be able to do it. And I'm sorry for that.
Any pictures you can share?
Of course. Follow me on Instagram. They're all there.
Okay. All right, guys. Here's his address for Instagram. I think it's this one. Is that right?
I got a couple.
Oh, you have more than that? Okay. Yeah. Maybe drop them in the comments or, okay.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay. That's the one that you usually go on.
Yeah.
I very much like the logo.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice.
A&M.
Yeah. I'm so sorry about the echo, but I don't want to go and yell at my guests because I didn't tell them. So I'll just have to speak slowly and ask them to turn off their devices during the next one. But
okay,
yeah,
cool.
That's probably what it is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. Have you thought about doing any kind of series on land in Sub 2, or do you want to keep it on the DQ?
So, I mean, I definitely. Can you still hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, I'm just gonna mute the echo so that it doesn't distract me. But I have been like diving in and doing all this over the past couple of years, probably 5 years inland. And the last year has been strictly just doing on like what I was talking about with our marketing system. So, yes, the website for this treehouse is the Trees in Hawkins, Ohio. William Kim's project. Nonetheless, I'll get back to it. So in this next 24, I plan on putting out a lot more content that's educational and more like me on property, kind of underwriting it on site and saying, this would be a good deal or a bad deal, and doing Q&As. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see a little bit more. I'll start doing a little bit more out of that. But I really had this like imposter syndrome. I don't want to start talking about deals until I've made, you know, 100 million in a year. It's everybody has that in the back of their mind. Fear. I don't want to start putting stuff out there if I'm not truly a subject matter expert. And over the last probably 6 months, I found that like there are things that I know that a very small part of the population knows. It's just that my mentors are the highest level of land flippers. So I'm like, I want to be doing that kind of project before I can start educating people, telling people about all this and the magic of land flipping. But I kind of got over that. My wife was like, just there are people who deserve to learn from you. So expect more content coming out. Sorry about that.
Good. Good. No, it's not your fault. Okay. Any last comments or questions from the audience?
Yeah.
I'm going to end this on time just because the echo is driving me now nuts. But I do want you to please stay in the studio. I want to talk with you for a few minutes.
Okay.
I always like to get some debriefing.
Yeah.
But Millie says, great seeing you. I think it means here. Austin Marvel. Nice. Okay. Well, everyone, I'd like to say thank you. And please do come again next week. And we shall see you then. And we are going to say goodbye with our outro. So bye, everyone.